Have you ever wondered why certain moments from your childhood still linger in your heart? The experiences, the struggles, and even the emotions, they shape us in ways we don't always recognize. But what if these weren't just random events? What if they were deliberate signs from Allah, guiding you toward a greater purpose? This is something few people talk about. Our early years hold clues, subtle hints that we were being prepared for something beyond what we imagined. Perhaps you always felt different, faced challenges beyond your years, or had to navigate life in ways others didn't. Islam teaches us something profound. Allah never places someone in hardship without a reason. Every difficulty carries wisdom, and every trial has a purpose. And before we go further, let's clarify something important. Being chosen by Allah is not about being superior to others. It's about how you respond to the challenges placed before you. Every believer has the opportunity to elevate their status in the sight of Allah. What matters is patience, resilience, and unwavering trust in Him. If you've encountered these 7 experiences in your childhood, know that they weren't coincidences. They were shaping you for something far greater than you ever expected. 1. You faced hardships at a young age. Some people grow up with a carefree childhood, free from major concerns. But for others, childhood was anything but easy. Perhaps you encountered loss, family struggles, or emotional burdens that forced you to mature too quickly. While others your age enjoyed simple pleasures, you carried responsibilities that no child should have to bear. What you may not have realized back then is that you weren't being broken, you were being built. In Islam, trials are not punishments. Rather, they are a means through which Allah strengthens us. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Whoever Allah intends good for, He puts them through trials." If you faced hardships early on, they were not meaningless. They were meant to develop your resilience, patience, and wisdom, qualities that many struggle to cultivate even in adulthood. Now, looking back, you can see that those struggles shaped you. They made you more understanding, stronger, and wiser. If your childhood was filled with tests, know that you weren't abandoned. You were being prepared for something greater. 2. You felt like you didn't belong. Did you ever feel out of place? Like no matter how hard you tried, you never truly fit in? Maybe you questioned things that others accepted without thought, or you struggled to relate to those around you. This feeling of being different is something many great individuals experience from a young age. It's not a flaw. It's a sign that Allah was setting you apart for a reason. Even the Prophet Muhammad grew up different from those around him. In a society full of corruption, he stood out for his honesty and integrity. He would often retreat to the cave of Hira, distancing himself from worldly distractions, preparing for the mission Allah had destined for him. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "Perhaps you dislike something while it is good for you, and perhaps you love something while it is bad for you. Allah knows while you do not know." What Surah Al-Baqarah 2:16. Your sense of not belonging wasn't a mistake. It was a sign that you were meant for a unique path, one that led you to something deeper, something that brought you closer to Allah. 3. You were more observant than others. As a child, did you ever notice things that others overlooked? Maybe you picked up on unspoken emotions, small details, or hidden meanings in conversations. While other kids were carefree, you were reflective, absorbing the world around you with a deeper understanding. This ability wasn't random. It was a gift from Allah. Many go through life without ever questioning anything, blindly following societal norms. But you were different. Even before receiving revelation, the Prophet Muhammad was known for his deep reflection. He questioned the customs of his people, sought truth beyond what was in front of him, and observed the world with wisdom. Allah says in the Quran, "Indeed, in the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the alternation of night and day, are signs for those of understanding." Surah Al-A'raf 3. Not everyone notices the signs around them, but if you always had a natural curiosity and a deeper awareness, it's because Allah placed it in your heart for a purpose, to seek knowledge, to understand the bigger picture, and to recognize the deeper meanings of life. 4. You were emotionally sensitive. Did you ever feel emotions more deeply than others? Maybe small things that didn't bother others affected you intensely. You felt happiness, sadness, and even the struggles of others in a way that was almost overwhelming. Some may have told you that you were too sensitive, but in reality, this was never a weakness. In Islam, having a soft heart is a profound blessing. It means you have the capacity for deep empathy, compassion, and kindness, qualities of the most righteous individuals. The Prophet Muhammad had the softest heart. He felt the pain of others so deeply that he would weep for them and make dua for their struggles, even when no one else seemed to care. If you were the child who felt too much, who cared too much, know that Allah placed that sensitivity in you for a reason. The world doesn't need more hardened hearts. It needs those who feel, who care, and who stand for justice. 5. You spent a lot of time alone. Did you often prefer solitude? Whether it was spending time alone in your room, getting lost in your thoughts, or simply observing rather than engaging, you may have found comfort in being by yourself. While society often views solitude negatively, Islam teaches us otherwise. Some of the greatest believers embraced solitude, not out of loneliness, but as a time for reflection and spiritual growth. Even the Prophet Muhammad withdrew from society to seek clarity before receiving revelation. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "And remember the name of your Lord, and devote yourself to him with complete devotion." Surah Al-A'raf 73:8. If you often found peace in solitude, it wasn't a flaw. It was a sign that you were being prepared for something deeper, something that required wisdom, self-awareness, and a strong connection to Allah. 6. You struggled to express yourself. Did you ever feel like no one truly understood you? Like you had so many thoughts and emotions but struggled to put them into words? Many people whom Allah prepares for a greater purpose experience this. Your mind and heart were processing things in a way that others couldn't always grasp. Even the Prophet Muhammad experienced this before his mission. His honesty, his sense of justice, and his wisdom made him different from those around him. Allah reminds us, "Be patient over what they say, and avoid them with gracious avoidance." Surah Al-A'raf 73:10. Your struggle to be understood was not a flaw, it was preparation, shaping you to be thoughtful, deliberate with your words, and deeply connected to those who truly understand. 7. You felt drawn to something greater. Even as a child, did you ever feel a deep sense of purpose? Like no matter what happened, you knew you were meant for something more. This isn't just a passing thought, it's a calling. In Islam, we are taught that Allah places a desire for truth and purpose in the hearts of those He guides. Allah says, "And those who strive for us, we will surely guide them to our ways." Surah Al-Ankabut 29-69. If you've always felt this pull towards something greater, know that Allah placed it within you for a reason. He wants you to seek Him, to grow, and to fulfill your purpose, not just for this world, but for the next. So if you've experienced these signs, know that you were never alone. Every challenge, every moment of feeling different, it was all part of Allah's plan. May Allah guide us all toward wisdom, patience, and purpose. Ameen.